guys? Welcome back. Happy New Year 2025 lawn care season. I'm stoked. I'm out here, guys, right now doing what I'm thinking a lot of y'all should be getting around to doing if you haven't already done so, and that's your pre-emergent applications. Okay. Let's talk about the whens, the hows, and the whys. The whys: broadleaf weeds, crabgrass, any kind of weeds that you guys are looking to keep at bay. There's various other weeds that are involved with pre-emergent applications, and the time period is now. That is definitely the when. If you guys aren't following or aren't subscribed to the Greencast online website, I highly encourage you guys to do that. Especially if you guys are DIYers out there and you're not following soil temperatures on a regular basis. They send you notifications. So for example, I woke up this morning to an email notification saying that our our soil temperatures in my area, my zip code, are averaging around 52 degrees. And then it lets you know that crabgrass germinates at 55 degrees on a 3-day average. So what does that tell you? Go and get out there, get that pre-emergent in if you haven't already done so. Now, we just started our pre-emergent applications this week for our clients here in El Paso. I do it every year, the first 2 weeks of February. Could I do it in January? Yeah, I probably could, the back end of January. The problem is that we got some crazy winds, real cold weather. And we just don't do it. We wait till the first 2 weeks of February. That's when we get active with our clients. A lot of you guys up in the transition zone or up north probably got some snowfall down still. Florida, I've seen, had some snowfall recently. There's snow on the ground, you can't put pre-emergent down. If your ground is saturated from some, let's say, some rains, you don't want to put pre-emergent down because it'll just wash away. We don't want it to wash away. What we want it to do is to reside in that top 1 to 2 inches of soil line there after watering in about an inch or so on your irrigation system. So when to do it? Now's a really good time to start getting proactive with it. Can you do it later in the season? You can. Sometimes you can do a split application. Excuse me, sorry. Whew, flew out of breath. You can do a split application based on your application rates. You can do one now, kind of a pre-emergent, and then follow up in a couple months, say March, April, early May time period. That's kind of more or less a summertime application, a pre-summer application, if you will. But right now is your first opportunity to start targeting any weeds that may be germinating in the future here. We're primarily focused on crabgrass, which when we're talking about pre-emergence, we're really gearing our applications towards crabgrass. So when to do it? Right now. Check your soil temperatures. Get on greencastonline.com or greencast.com, one of the two. Type in your zip code and it'll give you an idea of what your soil temperatures are or what they have historically been, so you can kind of gauge in your area when to apply pre-emergent. The pre-emergent I'm using today is prodiamine. This is a WDG. It's a wettable dispersible granular. You put it in your pump sprayers, your hand cans, backpack sprayers. You fill it up with water and you get to town on this lawn, okay, or your lawn. Application rates, okay, 0.36 ounces per 1,000 square feet, okay. Take a measuring cup. You do not want to overdo this stuff, and you definitely don't want to underdo it, okay? So get your measuring devices right. 0.36 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Today we're spraying 16,000 square feet, so we're having to refill our backpack sprayer a couple times. I don't run any huge rigs or nothing like that, or any ride-on spray equipment, so that's no problem. A lot of us here in El Paso, West Texas, we got a little 1,000 square feet, 2,000 square foot lawns. You can do this fairly easy. This jug will last you years if that's all you're working with. They do sell them in smaller portions. Just Google it, get on Amazon. Again, this is prodiamine. Generic brand is called Barricade. You can get some stuff at Home Depot and Lowe's that is Active ingredients is what you're paying attention to. That says prediamine or pre-emergent, or you see something that says crabgrass on it. I don't normally recommend utilizing those products because sometimes they contain fertilizers, especially in the granular side. We don't want to mix our applications. We're in the beginning stages of the lawn care season. There's no reason to put down fertilizer at this point in time. There's no micro activity in the soil to eat up any of that fertilizer. So it's like a waste of product, really. Okay, so this is why we use specific ingredients like the prediamine, WDG. That way we're only using one product and not wasting money out there. So that's kind of the when, the how, and the measuring. I'm not sure what else to tell you other than that. What I do, to finalize this, I think what I will tell you is once you do your application, you do want to water the product in, okay? Because we want to get it through the leaf tissue down into the soil where it's going to reside in that top 1 to 2 inches of your soil line. And then it creates that vapor barrier to stop any cell division of any future weeds that are going to develop. Or if they have already developed throughout the lawn, it's going to stop the weeds on a molecular level and prevent them from compounding your problem or your issue. Now, in this particular lawn, I've had this client for years now, and it's come a long way. This used to be like just a green haze of weeds, and we've really got control of this stuff. But there's some sporadic ones that you can, not always recommended, because it's still early in the season. Okay, we're barely getting into, I think today's high is 77, but our soil temperatures are right around 50, 52 degrees. The Bermuda is still dormant, okay? This stuff isn't gonna come out of dormancy until the second week of April in our area. So what I can do is I can go back with a non-selective herbicide. And this is the only time that I would ever recommend this, is when your lawn is completely dormant, and this is for Bermuda lawns only. Go back with a post-emergent non-selective herbicide and spot treat any weeds. Now you can, if you're just infested with weeds, you can do a blanket spray with a non-selective, but you got to really get the timing right on this, because if this grass was any somewhat shape out of dormancy, I would not spray this with a non-selective at all. That's option A. Option B with some of these few weeds that are sporadic is you can take a selective herbicide and treat them as well if you don't want to risk damaging the Bermuda grass. I've been practicing this for years now, but if you know your weeds that you're trying to target, like I think I saw a dandelion, you get something with some, a 2,4-D or some dicamba in there, and you want to target some dandelions, that's great too. And just now's your good opportunity to go ahead and treat any actively growing weeds as well, because we're not going to start mowing this grass until the last week of March. So from the first week of February to the last week of March, it's almost 7-8 weeks. We don't want anything growing while we're not here. So outside of that, if you have any questions, leave a comment below in the description. I'll get back to you. Welcome to 2025 lawn care season. I look forward to future videos, and we got massive weeds at another property that we're going to show you a new product that I think will benefit a lot of my local El Pasoans in our desert environments on killing weeds within 24 hours.